Doctor Who, Peter Cushing. And Daleks Invasion Earth, 2150 AD. Okay, so I'm going to read what it says on the back here for the DVD. Doctor Who returns in and out of this world battle for the future. The legendary Peter Cushing stars in this action-packed film sequel to Doctor Who and the Daleks, adapted from the beloved BBC TV serial that has captured the world's imagination for more than 40 years. This time, the remarkable Doctor and his companions use their time machine, the TARDIS, to travel to the Earth's future. But when they arrive, they discover a battle-ravaged world where mankind has been conquered and enslaved by the diabolical Daleks. Can Doctor Who foil their fiendish plan to mine the Earth's nuclear core and help a brave band of human rebels to take back the planet? All right. So it stars Peter Cushing, Bernard Cribbins, Ray Brooks, Jill Curzon, Roberta Tovey, and Andrew Keir. Executive producer Joe Vigoda, producers Milton Subotsky and Max J. Rosenberg, directed by Gordon Fleming, screenplay by Milton Subotsky and David Whitaker, from the BBC television serial by Terry Nation. All right. And then also, both of the movies, they come with booklets. Oh, here's a nice photo. So previously, I had said how these Doctor Who movies with Peter Cushing, they were based on stories from the Doctor Who show, and I read the back of the first movie, Doctor Who and the Daleks, and I should have read the back of the original story that it was based on, with William Hartnell. I'll just read. It's not very long. So for the Daleks story, it says the TARDIS lands in an alien petrified jungle beyond which is a mysterious deserted city. The Doctor insists on exploring, but before long the crew begins experiencing the early effects of radiation poisoning. Soon they discover that the metal city isn't as deserted as they first thought. The Doctor is about to have his first meeting with the Daleks. Yeah, that's what happens in the first Doctor Who movie with Peter Cushing. Yep, all that sounds the same. William Hartnell is definitely different. His characterization of the Doctor, William Hartnell's characterization, William Hartnell's is very different from Peter Cushing's, though. Characterization. Peter Cushing is more amiable, grandfatherly. And William Hartnell was more serious, still grandfatherly, but more serious. And uh, the word that I've heard a lot for William Hartnell was irascible. But I'll talk about him later. I'll talk about Peter Cushing more. Okay, so I wanted to read what it said in the booklet for the second one. The second Peter Cushing Doctor Who movie. With the runaway success of the first Doctor Who film, Doctor Who and the Daleks, which ended up in the top 10 British box office releases of 1965, a second film went into production as soon as possible. In fact, the first film opened in late June of 1965, and the sequel, Daleks Invasion Earth 2150 AD, began filming only 6 months later in January 1966. This time, Aru Productions, a joint production of Milton Subotsky's and Max Rosenberg's Amicus Productions with British Lion, raised the budget to £286,000, including a huge £50,000 promotional budget, and secured the return of Peter Cushing as the Doctor and Roberta Tovey as his granddaughter Susan, as well as most of the technical crew from Doctor Who and the Daleks. As Tovey herself has related, Cushing told the producers that his involvement in the sequel was contingent on her return to the role of Susan. If she said no, then so did he. It was only after she enthusiastically agreed to return that he did as well. The increase in funds from the first relatively low-budget film made possible some disturbingly evocative images of a Dalek-devastated London, as well as some impressive shots of a giant Dalek airship and the unforgettable first appearance of the titular cyborg rising from the waters of the Thames to attack. Although still considered a family film, the all-important BBFC rating U certificate needed for general admission was a tough goal to achieve while keeping the Daleks menacing. Milton Subotsky explained in an on-set interview at the time of filming Doctor Who and the Daleks, "We were going to have them, the Daleks, shooting out flames, but John Trevelyan, the censor, thought children were frightened of flames. So we went to the other extreme and armed them with fire extinguishers." Unfortunately, as Cushing recalled in a 1970 interview, "I am afraid my memory of that picture, Daleks Invasion Earth 2150 AD, is not too clear because I was quite ill during much of the shooting and they had to work around me a good deal." Oh. These disruptions in the hectic shooting schedule account for his absence for such a large amount of the running time, leaving viewers with the impression that Doctor Who himself is a more peripheral character in this adventure. Interestingly, the story is carried for quite a while by various adventures with young Susan and actor Andrew Keir, who would in 1967 portray the famous Dr. Bernard Quatermass in Quatermass and the Pit, which was itself based on a BBC television serial. Similarly, Keir, also a Hammer film veteran, was cast instead of Andre Morell, the actor who had portrayed the role on TV. One way in which additional funding was obtained for this film was rather unique for its time, but is now rather commonplace, showcasing a sponsor's product with on-screen placement. Throughout the ruins of London, a viewer is hard-pressed not to notice the number of signs for Sugar Puffs cereal that have survived the devastation. In return for their post-apocalyptic survival, Sugar Puffs provided various promotions for the upcoming film. When a real Dalek proclaimed their cereal boxes, and they weren't kidding, 3 full-size Daleks used in the film were eventually given away as prizes. Wow. Unfortunately, considering lower box office returns made this the last Doctor Who feature, though many more had been previously planned, as Subotsky envisioned it as a film-a-year series, not unlike a sci-fi version of James Bond. So that was all written by Scooter McCrae. Well, that was interesting.